Help me hit 7,000 subscribers. Support the video with a like and share your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone, thank you. Myvi. I'm 31, the kind of woman people describe as bubbly. Though lately I think that's just a polite way of saying I talk too much when I'm anxious. My husband, Rowan, is the opposite. Quiet, composed, and so steady it's almost unsettling. And then there's Blake, the man I should have never let into my orbit. Not even for a second. The night it all fell apart was our company's annual winter party. The kind where everyone pretends the open bar is a holiday gift, and not a corporate stunt to hide the stress we've all been drowning in. Rowan wasn't originally planning to come, but I'd convinced him. Just for an hour, I said. You never celebrate anything. He agreed because Rowan always agrees to the things that matter to me, even when I don't deserve it. The venue was a rooftop ballroom downtown. Glass walls reflecting the city like a glittering ocean. The music thumped softly, and people hovered in small groups pretending to enjoy canapés no one could pronounce. Rowan stood beside me, hands folded, eyes calm but distant the way they get when he's trying to navigate unfamiliar territory. I should have stayed by his side. I should have held his hand. But instead I drifted right toward Blake. Blake with the easy smirk. Blake with the perfect hair. Blake who had been just a friend, then someone to talk to, then something I didn't want to label because labels make you confront the truth. He had this way of leaning in like he could hear secrets before you spoke them. Didn't think your husband would show, he whispered, lifting his glass. I laughed too loud. Well, miracles happen. And Blake laughed with me, close enough that I could smell his cologne. A stupid, reckless thrill fluttered in my chest. Rowan hated office parties. Rowan hated crowds. Rowan hated small talk. So I made the mistake of turning that into a joke. Several jokes, actually. Harmless at first, then sharper, edged with wine and insecurity. I swear Rowan's allergic to fun, I said at one point. If he smiled any less, people would think he's malfunctioning. Blake chuckled. A coworker nearby raised a brow. Someone else smirked. Kept going. I don't know why. Maybe because the attention felt electric. Maybe because Blake's eyes made me feel interesting, seen, alive in a way I hadn't felt in months. Or maybe because cruelty sometimes slips out easiest when you're trying to impress the wrong person. Then Blake leaned in, murmuring, "Well, at least you have someone who appreciates you tonight." He brushed his fingers against mine. Reckless. Too reckless. That was the moment I felt the air shift. A silence, cold and heavy, settled behind me. Conversations around us slowed, then stuttered. People's eyes widened just slightly, the way they do when they sense something dangerous approaching but don't want to look directly at it. Turn. Rowan stood there, not saying a word, not moving, not even blinking. Rowan was never intimidating. Not traditionally, anyway. But the expression he wore, the absolute stillness, the eerie calm, made my stomach drop. His face wasn't angry. It wasn't hurt. It was something else entirely. Something I'd never seen in the man I married. It was blank. And somehow that was worse. "Rowan, hey," I started, my voice catching. I was just. But he didn't look at me. Not once. His eyes were fixed on Blake with a coldness that made the room feel 10 degrees colder. Blake shifted, trying to smirk it off, but even he couldn't hold the facade. Rowan finally spoke, voice low, steady. "Ivy, you left your phone in the car," he said. Controlled. It kept ringing. Blinked. Ringing. From who? His eyes slowly, deliberately, turned to me. "You should check it." That was it. No accusations. No raised voice. But something in his tone, flat, emotionless, sent a ripple through everyone nearby. People weren't staring because he was dramatic. They were staring because he wasn't. Rowan handed me my phone without looking at my face. His hand didn't shake. Mine did. When I unlocked the screen, my blood turned to ice. Missed calls. Text. Voicemail. All from Rowan's sister, Callie. Callie never called me unless something was wrong. I looked up at Rowan, heart pounding. What happened? Is she okay? Rowan didn't answer. Instead, he stepped back, giving me a single, unreadable glance. And every person around us went silent, frozen, not because he'd done something dramatic, but because they could see something I couldn't. Something in his posture, something in his eyes, something terrifying. Blake swallowed hard. And then Rowan said quietly, "Just listen to the voicemail." My hands trembled as I pressed play, the party noise fading into a distant hum behind the voicemail's first shaky breath. "Ivy, it's Callie. You need to come home. Now." Oz. Shaky inhale. "Rowan didn't want me to call you, but I can't keep this to myself. Something happened and you need to hear it from him. Please, just get here." The voicemail ended. My pulse hammered in my throat. Rowan, what is she talking about? What happened? But Rowan was already turning away, weaving through the stunned circle of co-workers who had witnessed every second of my humiliation. His expression didn't crack once. Not anger, not sadness, nothing. Just a chilling, focused stillness. "Rowan," I called, following him through the crowd. "Talk to me." He didn't stop. Didn't even acknowledge me. He walked straight out of the ballroom, leaving stunned whispers in his wake. Blake stepped back as if relieved the spotlight had left him, but the damage was done, and everyone knew it. I hurried after Rowan, heels clicking too loudly against the polished floor. The elevator doors were closing when I slipped in beside him. He didn't look at me. The silence was suffocating. "Rowan, you're scaring me," I whispered. His jaw tightened, barely. "Good." My breath hitched. "What does that mean?" He exhaled slowly, eyes fixed on the elevator doors. "It means maybe you'll finally pay attention." The doors opened. He walked out. I followed him to the parking structure, the cold air biting through my dress. Rowan unlocked the car, got in, and didn't wait for me to settle before driving out onto the empty nighttime streets. His silence felt like a verdict. "Please," I whispered. "Just tell me what's going on." Rowan's knuckles tightened around the wheel. "Not here." The rest of the drive was pure agony. Every assumption clawed at my mind. An accident, a family emergency, something with work. But the look in Rowan's eyes at the party had been personal. Devastatingly personal. When we reached our house, he pulled into the driveway and killed the engine. For a long moment he didn't move. When he finally spoke, his voice was so controlled it made me shiver. "Inside." I nodded, throat tight, and followed him through the front door. Callie sat on the couch, eyes red, hands wringing nervously. She stood when she saw me. "Ivy," she whispered. "I'm so sorry." My heart lurched. "Sorry for what?" "Someone tell me what happened." Rowan stepped forward, finally facing me. And the look in his eyes. It wasn't rage. It was something heavier, older. A disappointment so profound it felt like grief. "Ivy," he said. "Sit." I obeyed because my legs might have buckled otherwise. Rowan remained standing, posture rigid. "Earlier tonight, before the party, I got a call from a man named Trevor." I frowned. "Trevor? I don't know any Trey." "He does," Rowan said, nodding toward my phone. "He's been calling you for days." Froze. Trevor. Blake's real first name. He'd told me once but laughed and said, "No one calls me that." My stomach twisted. "He said he wanted to warn me," Rowan continued, voice steady. "Said he thought I deserved to know what was going on between you two." My breath shattered. "Rowan, I swear nothing happened. Don't lie to me." He didn't raise his voice. That somehow made it worse. "He told me you flirted with him at work. That you messaged him late at night. That he told you he didn't want to come between us, but you kept encouraging him anyway." Rowan inhaled sharply. "And then he apologized. To me." My world tilted. "He said he regretted everything. That he'd blocked you today. That he hoped we could work it out." I shook my head, tears burning. "Rowan, I never." "You did," he said. "Tonight proved it." I felt the weight of my own reckless words crashing back, Every insult, every laugh at Rowan's expense, every moment I let Blake feel closer to me than my own husband. Rowan continued, voice low. I wasn't going to confront you at the party. I was going to talk to you privately. But when I walked in and heard you mocking me, telling another man I'm allergic to fun and malfunctioning, while he touched your hand, his jaw tightened. I realized the woman laughing there wasn't my wife. Sob tore out of me. Rowan, please let me explain. He shook his head. I don't want excuses. I want honesty. I reached for him, but he stepped back, sharp, instinctive. That hurt more than anything. Ivy, he said softly. I loved you in ways I don't think you ever understood. And maybe that's my fault. Maybe I didn't say it enough. Maybe I didn't show it in the ways you needed. But tonight, his voice cracked for the first time, just barely. Tonight I saw how little I mattered to you when someone more exciting was watching. My tears blurred everything. Rowan, I care about you more than anyone. I made a stupid mistake. No, he said. A mistake is a moment. What you did was a pattern. He turned away, exhaling shakily. I'm not leaving tonight, he whispered. I'm not throwing away our marriage in anger. But things will change. Starting now. My heart thudded painfully. What does that mean? It means I'm sleeping in the guest room. He didn't turn around as he spoke. And tomorrow, we decide if there's anything left worth saving. I stood frozen, breath trembling, watching the man I loved walk down the hall. Shoulders heavy, steps slow, dignity intact in a way that made the guilt crush me from the inside out. When the door closed behind him, the house fell silent. And for the first time all night, I finally understood why everyone at that party froze in fear. It wasn't Rowan's anger. It was his restraint. The silent kind. The kind that says, you broke something you may never get back.